Hello, everyone. My name is Max with the Jesus Hotline. You may know me because I ran the Jesus Hotline. Hold on a second. Yeah. Can you activate the O3 optical line?
O3 optical line connected.
Okay, the O3 optical line is connected. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows that. Now, tonight, we're talking about guns. What does Jesus think about guns? Okay? You can see I got my gun right here all ready to go. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we're here to talk about guns. Now, most of you who live in America know what a gun is, okay? If not, there you go. Most of you, a lot of people might know what a gun is, and if you don't know what a gun is, go look it up on Google. Okay? A gun takes a bullet, obviously, a 9mm or whatever kind of gun you have. It'll take that said bullet, okay, into the... Or, you know, if you have like a shotgun, you'll take like a slug. So anyway, today we're here to talk about what does Jesus necessarily think about a gun? I mean, does Jesus support it? Does he hate it? Is Jesus for gun control? Is what's up with any of that? Now, we're getting an incoming call, so I'm going to answer the calls. Donations are off. I will tell you that. Hello, thank you for calling the Jesus Hotline. You're live on the air. Do you have a question about God or guns today?
Yes, I do have a question about guns today.
Okay, what's the question?
Well, I have a very God-friendly video that I want you to show on your stream.
We're not showing. We just started the stream, sir. We're not showing videos right now. I need to get into the talk about guns, and I need to get into that. So.
But I think it would fit in with the topic. I think it would fit in with the topic.
Listen, it might fit into the topic, but right now I just started the show. So, do you have a question?
Yeah, my question is, I want to suggest this kid-friendly video. I think you should go check it out.
We're not doing videos right now. Sorry, if you don't have a question, I'm gonna have to end the call.
No, I do have a question.
Okay, the O3 optical. What's your question?
Where was God when God committed 9/11? No, where was God when 9/11 happened?
He was right there, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Okay, it seems like a joke, sir. It might be a serious question. But anyway, back to the question. Back to the answer today. What does God think about guns? Well, okay, so you need to go back. You need to go back into the Bible days and think about this one thing. Okay? They had swords back then. They had swords. Okay? And people used the swords to fight. Now, in 2020, when we have war and stuff like that, you don't see people going out with swords. You see people walking out with guns, you know. You see people doing that. Okay? This is basically our modern sword. Okay? It's basically our modern sword. And this right here is basically the ammunition to our modern sword. Now, you need to think about that, okay? I mean, back in the day, there were fights, okay? And people still fight to this day, but they use different weapons. Okay, now, what do I think Jesus thinks about guns? To answer the question to you, I think he's okay with it. As long as you're not using one of these the wrong way. If you're using this the wrong way and you're using it to hurt someone, then that is not good, okay? That is what I will say. If you're using it to kill someone, not in self-defense, keep in mind. We're not talking about self-defense right now. If you go out of your way and you commit a mass shooting, that is not good in God's eyes. That's killing, okay? Now, if you have to use a gun in self-defense, I get it, okay? But God knows. God knows your true intention. God will know what you choose to do with a gun, okay? Now, we're going to get some callers on the line here, and we're going to answer their questions. So, we're going to have our second caller of the night. Hello, caller. You're live on the air. Do you have a question about guns today or God?
Yes, I do have a question about God today.
All right, go ahead.
Where was God when ISIS killed millions of innocent people?
Transfer.
Oh, you hear that? It's the O3 optical line kicking in. Okay, listen. Where was God? That's a good question. He was there. But you need to remember, he's not going to let every single bad thing happen. He's not going to let every single bad thing happen. So, what I say to you guys on what we should do, well, you might be thinking, should we stock up on ammunition? I mean, should we? Is that something that God wants us to do? Does God want us to go out and buy slugs and buy all sorts of kind of different bullets? Well, God wants you to trust in him. Now, that doesn't mean that God says, shall not have a gun and shall not have a gun and shall possession. That's not what that means. People have guns. Whoa. People have guns. Okay. People have guns. Let's stop messing with the bullets. People have guns, okay? It's a fact. Bad people and good people have weapons, okay? And sadly, they're relatively easy to get. And I'm not going to get into politics, okay? Because if we do that, then the whole stream is just going to go down. This is just what God thinks about guns. Now, I want to show you something for those of you that don't know. This actually is a pellet gun. So, But that is real ammunition, though. We're not going to bring a real gun into the studio, but that actually is real ammunition. So, what do I think, personally, what we should do? Yeah, have weapons. God never said, shall not have a weapon, okay? God never said that. Hello, do you have a question about God today?
Yes, I do have a question.
You're going to need to stop calling because I answered your question before and you just keep yelling at us.
No, I'm not a troll. I'm not a troll.
Do you have a serious question about God? You sound like the person from the last week's show. So do you have a question about God?
What do you mean last week's show? No.
Please enter the number to be removed from the blacklist.
No, I don't want a blacklist. I want to...
Please.
I don't. Okay, you know what? Okay, here we go.
To blacklist the last caller.
All right, we finally added the number to the blacklist, so hopefully I didn't dox their number by accident, but we can't have these trolls calling in. It's the new season. It's the new Jesus Hotline. The free optical line started working in progress. Anyway, I lost my train of thought what I was trying to say. So basically, it's okay to have a gun, okay? I mean, we're not going to get into politics, but what I will say, though, is use it correctly, okay? Don't go out and kill people. And, you know, if you do that, that is a sin. But I think that if you use it in self-defense, Jesus understands that, okay? He knows. Jesus knows he knows your heart, see? So I don't think you're going to be judged for doing that. I feel like if you have to take someone's life and you have no other option and you have to do it, then, you know, you're going to have to do it. You shouldn't really have pleasure in killing someone. Now, I know some crazy people do. They have pleasure, and that's why they go out and commit these mass shootings. But it's a way of protecting yourself, okay? And Jesus knows, God knows on this earth that we're going to have problems, that we're going to face evil people. God knows that, okay? But God also knows that there are bad people with guns. So that's what I would say to that. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to let us know and call in down below us and we'll answer your questions, okay? I know a lot of good people that own guns and that own responsibly, okay? I know people that own guns, you know? I mean, shout out to Mark. You know, he I don't know if he wants me to tell his whole life story, but, you know, he worked for the U.S. Army, okay? And, you know, the U.S. Army, that's a tough job. I mean, I'm not saying that I know, but what happened is that, you know, if you work in the U.S. Army, you're probably going to get shot at. You're probably going to have to deal with guns. You're probably going to have to deal with your M16s and your, you know, but what I'm saying is he risked his life to go fight people, evil people, who you might be thinking, well, why did this said person that you're talking about, Max, why did they have to fight? Isn't that not what God wants us to do? No. But I think deep down that the person I'm talking about knew that these evil people wouldn't care. You know, he was fighting for America, and so many people take America for granted today. I mean, you got people in here that take this country for granted. They take the freedoms we have for granted. They take everything for granted. I don't think people realize what it's like to be in a different country, or in a different country where you're scared because your own government is going around slaughtering people. And I feel like that, you know, Mark, he's seen that, okay? So he's been in the military, and there's some messed up stuff that happens in the military, okay? And I think that most people take America for granted. You understand that if it wasn't for people like Mark, if it wasn't for people like him, there wouldn't be an America, because someone would come in, there would be a guy that would come in, and they would take over America, and they would take away our freedoms, okay? And that doesn't mean, you might be saying, well, you're turning this into politics. Yes, I am. But at the same time, God knows that evil things are happening. Does he choose to stop it? No. Because his timing is different than ours. His timing is extremely different than ours. Okay? That is what we will never understand. Now, is it okay to get mad when these mass shootings happen? Yeah, I get mad all the time. You look at what happened in Las Vegas. You look at what happened with Parkland. You look at what happened with Columbine. It's extremely sad. It's extremely horrible what happened. Okay? And what I have to say about that is, yes, I do question, like, God, why do you allow this to happen? He allows it to happen because he knows something we don't. His mind can comprehend more than what ours cannot. So yeah, it's mad. I mean, it's frustrating. I'll tell you that. It really is frustrating. But we can't do... All our job is to show people the way of God. That's our job. Okay? God puts these people. You know, you think about our firemen and our cops. God puts those people. He puts those people there to help us. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that if there's a terrorist outside your door and he's going around and he's hurting people, that doesn't mean that you can't go and stop, that you can't stop the terrorist. I mean, thankfully, we have that right, you know, is that if we see something going on and we know that they're a threat to others, we can just pull it out and we can just, you know what I'm saying? We can just take care of it. But we don't go out of our way to kill just to kill. I think a lot of people think when they see a gun, okay, like I said, this one's falling apart. But when they see a gun, they think, oh, okay, I'm going to join the military because I want to kill people. Okay? I mean, there are people that do that, and you know it. Deep down, there's people that are like, I play lots of Call of Duty. I want to join the military so I can kill people. Now, granted, I'm sure there are people that think that way, where they just want to join just because it's legal to kill in the military. But I think that there are, and I know there are some good people out there, okay? Like the person, Mark, that I was talking about, where they joined to help people. Okay, I mean, I don't think, and I hope not, I don't think they joined just to say, you know what, I'm going to pick up this gun and I'm going to blow somebody's brains out. No, I don't think that that's why people join. Now, yeah, granted, there is probably going to be that one, there's like that one bad cop, you know, not all cops are bad, okay? Because granted, there's always going to be evil people in the world. But most people are responsible with firearms and are good, and they would never want to just take somebody's life just because they can. I mean, you look at these cops, right? And you look at these mass shooters where they say to the man and they say to the guy and they say, drop the weapon, drop the weapon, drop it. You know, they say it multiple times. You know what? Eventually, that cop might be in danger. So he might have to draw his gun. God knows that he put these people in line for this reason, to protect. Granted, God doesn't want anyone to die, but people are going to die. And you know that this is true because God put the evil people in the world. He did not put the evil people in the world. People say that, right? People say that. No. He put good people in the world, but then us as people decided to sin. We decided to do something evil. And we were the ones that did it. God created this world. It was perfect. There would have been no need for a gun. There would have been no need for war. But no. It's our fault. You can blame, you know what, sometimes everyone blames the devil, but really at the end of the day, the devil didn't force Adam and Eve to eat the fruit off of the tree. The devil didn't pull out a gun and say, hey, you better eat the fruit off the tree or else. It's not how that works. At the end of the day, the devil can't hurt you. He can't physically hurt you. But you know where he can hurt you? Inside your mind. He can hurt you deep inside your mind. Mentally, depression. He can use everything. He can use video games, movies, people to manipulate you. So next time that you hear someone say, the devil made me do it. The devil made me do it. Did the devil make you do it? No. He put that little thought inside your head and you chose to do it. You look at these mass shooters. They're the ones that pick up the gun. Okay? Lucifer doesn't just say he doesn't like possess you when you pick up the gun and you start doing this. Most of the people that say demons controlled me, they're fakers. It doesn't happen. Okay? It doesn't happen. Now, granted, I don't think that the demons have the power to go out of their way and force you to do that. You have to be the one that makes that decision. Now, hate, anger is a sin. Revenge is a sin. That's what I'm going to tell you. Deep down, you know. You know I'm true. You don't want to admit it. You got people who hate on my video today. People that hated the video that I was talking about today. They said, nah, no way. They hated it. Because people want to live by their own rules. People want to live by their own rules. People, for example, want to buy lots of stuff. They want to watch porn. They want to do this. But, it's against the Bible, so we probably shouldn't be doing that. You know what? The devil made me do it. I can assure you that's some people's excuses. They do something, they drink, they party, they get drunk. Maybe they post, maybe they text their ex, you know what I'm saying? They're like, I don't like you anymore. You know what? I'm taking the kids. No, maybe they do that. Maybe they're drunk, okay? And they pull a gun and they rob someone. Like Michael Jordan's dad. You remember when that happened? There was teenagers that shot Michael Jordan's dad just to rob him. Okay? Now that did happen. Now that's extremely sad. And the people who committed the murder have to live with that for the rest of their life. Okay? But here's the thing, right? Most people just don't care. Most people just aren't scared of God. But you are going to have to stand before God and answer for what you did. You might be thinking, well, I am a good person. I am a good person. Are you? Because none of us is perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a gun crime. It doesn't have to be a crime that here in America we hold highly. Committing a lie is just as bad as murder. Think about that. We have all fallen short when it comes to God. Think about that. What are you going to do when you stand before the Lord? Because you won't have any excuse. There will be no excuse. think I broke the pellet gun, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter right now. If I did, then that's... So anyway, you get my point. If you have any incoming calls, feel free to call now. All right, so now I want to answer some of your guys' questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to call in. If you don't want to call in, you know what I'm saying? Feel free. Donations are on. If you want to donate, that's up to you. I'm not forcing anyone to do it, but I want to answer some of your guys' questions now. And no, Jesus Hotline Season 2. So if you have any questions, actually, just feel free to call in. It looks like tonight we only had that one troll caller, but I blacklisted his number, the new O3 optical line. But like I said, the number is down below. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. It's up to you. So, yeah, this is usually the part of the stream where I ask you guys about questions. Let's talk about the next stream just for a minute. You're going to be wondering, what am I going to do for the next stream? We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about money. Tonight, we were talking about guns, okay? But next stream, we'll be talking about money. We'll probably do that tomorrow. But like I said, feel free to call in now. You can ask about guns. You can ask about anything like that. It is up to you, or you can just ask a different question. So feel free to call in right now, and I'll answer your question about God. Now, if you're new here, this is the Jesus Hotline. We were talking about guns tonight, and I know everyone wants to see the bullets. They want to see the, you know, I know that's why some of you guys come here is because you want to see the, but that's really not important. So, like I said, feel free to call in. I'm taking the belt off, so, because that was just for the prop thing. And I'm going to activate the phone lines now. So, starting... All right, phone lines are active. You guys can call in right now. I'm going to be reading chat. If you guys have questions in chat, I'll be reading the chat. We'll see what's going on in the chat room right now. All right, let's see. Nathaniel said, hey again, Jesus Hotline Season 2. It's back. We're back. Now we're waiting for calls. So, if you have a call... Feel free to call in. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you don't have a call, then you just don't have a call. But like I said, we're waiting for your call. And for the meanwhile, until we receive calls, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to talk about a few updates that are coming. I will be streaming every single day until the quarantine ends. Okay? Once the quarantine ends, we'll go back to our normal schedule every Friday, every Saturday. But I'm going to be streaming every single night until the quarantine ends because I really don't have anything much better to do. And we will see from there. Now, like I said, I have a few episodes planned. Let's see. Tomorrow is going to be about money. We're going to have money. Because, I mean, you know, tonight we talked about the guns. So we have the gun. And we have the ammunition. Tomorrow we'll have the money. Usually when I'm talking about a topic, I'll try to get what we're talking about so I can show you an example. Because, I mean, you know, you might not believe it, okay? But I feel like it helps when you can see the prop and you can actually get a feel for the idea. Now, like I said, we'll be looking for your calls. Your call is right there. If you have a question about God, feel free to call in. The number is actually below on your screen. Right now, it's right under there. You call that number. The phone lines are working. So if you have a serious question about God, I encourage you to call in right now. If you don't have a question about God, don't call in. Okay? because we have a tolerance now for the prank call. Ooh, we have a tolerance now for prank callers. Okay? But, you know, now that we're on the subject, let's talk about murder, okay? Because, I mean, you know, tonight is a little bit of a darker episode. We're talking about guns. We're talking about weapons. We're talking about swords and stuff like that. So, what is murder? Well, murder is what you think it is, basically. And why is murder bad? Well, because God says it's bad. Okay? Why would it be right? You might be thinking, well, yeah, how about you answer your own question that you just made? I will be more than happy to. Right after we take this break. All right, guys, feel free to call in. We're back. So, I'm waiting for your guys' calls, because this usually is the part that I go on and I introduce, you know, and you guys call in and I answer your guys' questions. So, yeah, let's receive our calls. I hope the system is working. I'm going to check. Because that's going to, if I'm sitting here and I'm talking and I keep rambling on and there's no one that calls in, oh, I'm calling the wrong person. I need to call my hotline. I wonder if the phone line is working. This is like the problem we had before. See, the good thing is we're not getting any troll calls tonight. Okay, before we received so many troll calls. Yep, the lines are working. You guys are just refusing to call in. That's what's going on. So I think that you guys are just refusing to call in. Well, I'm going to end the show if nobody wants to call in. I mean, the whole point of the Jesus Hotline is I say my speech and then I answer your guys' questions. So, like I said, I mean, if you want to donate or just, you know, call in so I can hear your side or what you think about guns, anything like that, we will see. All right. So, I'm starting to see that there's no one actually calling in, which is a shame, but I get it. I mean, you know, people are out doing, eating out, you know, phase 2 is happening. I get it. So, I guess I'm just going to end the show. Thank you all for watching the Jesus Hotline. I'll see you all again